Hey guys, what's up here? Welcome back to our spectating very good player playing certain champion video series. I probably need to find a catchier title for this one. Today we are spectating the highest ranked Korean one-trick pony Shaco for solo queue. He's a challenger Shaco, and I wanted to do this for two reasons. Firstly, Shaco I think is a champion which you guys enjoy watching. He's a very interesting champion. He's a very unique champion, so there's a lot to learn from him. A lot to study about him, you could say. And secondly, he is literally the biggest definition of a one-trick. If this guy does not get Shaco, he dodges. Every single game this guy's played is with Shaco, and like I say, he's in Challenger, so in Korea as well. So he's a very good Shaco, probably one of the best Shacos you'll watch for solo queue at least. If you're looking to improve your Shaco plays, that's really the focus of these videos that I want to do, is we're going to watch this guy, spectate him, and really analyze what he's doing. I may not be rewinding and watching, like breaking down fights too much, by the way. Just as a side note, because I've tried that before with replays, because there's been a new patch, things have crashed and I've not been able to reopen them, so I'm scared, I'm very scared. So if I don't break things down, do forgive me. But the first thing to notice here is, well, actually the first thing to say is that if we look here, who is this young man here? Hide on bush. That is the man Faker himself. So our friend Shaco is playing versus Faker, the god of League of Legends. Now here's something to note about this guy's first jungle starting path here. This guy, stop doing that. This guy stacks boxes at the chickens. He does chickens as his first camp. Really interesting. Now, because of the new patch where chickens give you more experience here, I feel like this is actually kind of smart for him to take this, get extra experience. But the enemy team knows he's here. They're spam pinging him. I guess they've already warded this. But I don't think these guys can do anything about it. I think instead, I'm just going to quickly go ahead and look at the enemy jungler. Oh, the enemy jungler is here. I was going to... Oh, Shaco, you can't do that, mate. He smited and left it on 16 health. Oh my goodness, unlucky. Now, the cool thing to notice about this play is the enemy team were as prepared as they possibly could have been for that play, and he still nearly took the blue buff for free. So that was really interesting there. Stack boxes at chickens, invade the blue buff. Unless the enemy jungler has started at the blue buff, it looks like you'll just get that for free, unless you're like, this guy can't smite. But still, I think maybe Lee Sin should have gone for the blue buff invade there himself. But still, that's in theory, that was a good play. He failed the execution, but in theory, that was fine. I have seen this guy, by the way. I looked at a different replay where he starts blue side. So when he's on this side of the map, he starts chickens, puts 3 boxes down here and 1 box at the red buff, like far away from it, so it won't immediately aggro the red buff when red buff spawns. And then he gets a bit of a leash on these from his bot lane, but because he gets an extra leash because there are 2 people there, he only needs to sack 3 boxes and then can put 1 spare down here and then move over to the red and take that by himself. So you can maybe do that if you're on the blue side, if you want to get a better leash as well. But still, this guy's gone for a pretty standard early game clear. He failed the blue steal, but generally speaking, that's fine. In theory, it was a good play. He's now going for the scuttle crab. I've watched another replay of this guy. He did the exact same thing last time as well. He gets a double buff clear and then goes for the scuttle crab. Now, it's interesting to note as well. I'm just going to pause it just to talk about something really quick. Interesting to note is that this, like, you've got to think about what this guy's thinking about. Why the bloody hell is Shaco here? He can't gank this lane. You can't tower dive people at level 2. Well, he's level 3. You can't tower dive this. What are you doing here, mate? You're wasting your time. Nothing's going to be happening here. Well, what this guy's probably thinking isn't that he wants to dive these guys. It's probably thinking, I want to see if Lee Sin shows up. Because Lee Sin will be looking at this lane thinking something could happen here. So I guarantee you this guy's thinking more anti-Lee Sin play than let's kill these guys. Of course, having said that, boom, Bob's your uncle, Bernie's your nan. What the bloody hell was that? Of course that's what he's doing. Of course that's what these guys, you know, every single time I try and break down one of these Korean gameplays, I look at them and I think, what the bloody hell are you doing, mate? Oh, never mind. He's thinking about something really cheeky. Oh, never mind. You know what? Actually, you were doing something really crazy, but it works because you're Korean and you're crazy. Excellent stuff. I wouldn't recommend that kind of play in your, like, standard solo queue games, like lower rated solo queue games. Even in my solo queue games, well, I'm like, what, mid diamond. It's not like I'm particularly high, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. That's probably a play that isn't going to work most times, 9 times out of 10. So he's gone back to farming a little bit here. Still got his double buffs. He wants to make the most of this play while he's still got his doubles. He's looking to swarm in on Faker. Now, because Blitzcrank is looping around here as well, this is a pretty well executed gank. If he goes from the top side, from the bot side, sorry, Blitzcrank from the top side, they cut Faker off. He can't get anywhere. Faker makes a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake in my opinion here, which is where he doesn't flash the hook. He flashes after the hook is hit. That is a rookie mistake, but even Faker makes mistakes like these. You always want to flash to prevent damage or prevent CC rather than flashing after you've got caught. You always want to hit, like Faker right there, 100% needed to flash the hook rather than flashing after he got hooked. Pretty good box positioning as well. If you saw what the Shaco did, he puts the box in front of the guy trying to cut off his escape route. Important to do that so that the guy doesn't just run away for free. So you can maybe he'll run into your fear and die there. Now it's a shame I can't see how much gold this guy has. But if this guy's going to do what he did last game, he saves up for quite a lot of gold around the 1200 mark, and then he'll go back and buy something which you're probably not expecting him to buy. He's also gone for he maxes E this game. He did this last game as well. Now this guy, so this Shaco, best Shaco in Korea arguably, he maxes E, not Q. Very surprising. I've not seen that in a very, very long time. Since his rework, I've always seen everyone just max Q. So maxing E, for me, that's a surprise, but this guy does it. Seems to work well for him. Now, he's actually done something very different this game to what he did last game when he got his first back. His first back, he goes for red smite into double longsword, so quite an aggressive approach here. Potentially, that's because he feels like against Lee Sin, which is historically a hard matchup for Shaco. Probably the hardest matchup for Shaco in the 1v1. Maybe he feels like he needs the extra firepower, he needs the red smite to be able to do those 1v1s. And what he did last game when he was matched up against I can't remember who he was playing against last game. The game I watched, I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't Lee Sin. He actually rushed Moby Boots and a longsword. So he could have gone Tiamat, he could have gone for this buy here, but he didn't. He rushed the Moby Boots, which was very, very aggressive, very surprising. But still, this guy's looking like he's playing a bit more towards the farm style of things, but not necessarily forcing plays, but which is surprising to say considering the first gank, right? That seemed a little forced, but it worked. But he's focusing more on farming and controlling the jungle a little bit, because again here he's going for another invade. This blue buff has just respawned and he's immediately going in for it and looking to go and take it away. Shaco does take these things pretty fast. Lee Sin on the other hand is here in pretty good time and is level 6, so this play is pretty risky. He gets the blue buff, that's good. He has his Q up so he can escape as well. I think the more important thing to note about this play here, rather than what Shaco did himself in the 1v1 matchup with the Lee Sin, it's more about the fact that his laners could come and help him out. Now he's in a bit of a pickle here, he's kiting as hard as he can. He's drawn out the ult from Shen as well, and he just runs away. So I think this is the interesting thing here, is that because his laners were strong, like the people who made that play wasn't necessarily the Shaco against the Lee Sin, it was the fact that both his laners came to help him, because his laners were stronger. If his lanes were pushed in against him, I doubt he goes for that play if he knows he can't 1v1 the enemy jungler, because if you can't 1v1 the enemy jungler, of course you're going to have to rely on your team to kind of bail you out. So instead, still gets the blue steal. He actually managed to get it this time. Bit surprising there. Doesn't make the same mistake as he made last time. And there we go. Now again, a lot of heavy focusing on the farming, but I will expect this guy to be paying attention to around the bot side / dragon soon, because with an Infernal Dragon coming up, he knows that he wants to try and secure that, because it's a very good dragon for solo queue. So here he comes, he's running straight down the lane here. Good initiate by Blitzcrank right here. He goes in, tries to use his ult on the Nautilus passive. Instantly dies. But it pretty much does his job here. Just gets in the fight. Gets a really good kind of like box formation down with his clones as well. And there it is. 4 kills for the favor of 2. 4 for 2. Pretty good trade for his team. Now this is the thing, when you're playing Shaco, you are pretty squishy. This guy is very squishy, I mean, he's Shaco, right? And if you're going, especially like Lee Sin, it's difficult because he has such a high burst combo with his, he catches you with his ulti, you're dead. But if people use that on him, they can't use it on anyone else. And if you look at the scoreboard here, 2 kills to 6, that were the first 2 kills for the enemy team. Shaco is at 0-1-6. Shaco has been a part of everything that's happened this game, and if you've looked about what's happened around what's happened this game, it's all happened around Shaco. The invades, these are the plays that set things up. Shaco's really making it happen, even if he's not necessarily ganking really hard or being like traditionally extremely aggressive. But I will be looking when this guy's ultimate comes back up. He'll probably be going for the dragon play again, because Shaco's very good at taking away dragon, and fire dragon is a very good dragon to be taking. His ult's not going to be up just yet, but maybe he'll be looking to take it with his bot lane as well. So again here, as soon as he's done taking his jungle camps, the ones that he deems necessary, specifically the buff camps, he runs straight down to help his team in the fight. Now these kind of plays rely on having good awareness and keeping your eyes on the mini-map. Shaco does this very well here because I can guarantee, like, it's a shame we can't watch him directly from his personal perspective, but this guy must just be staring at the mini-map. He does put a lot of focus on farming though, which is a bit more in line with what you would kind of expect from someone who wants to kind of solo carry a game to an extent. Like, he's not 100% just going to help his team, but he is putting emphasis on helping himself get stronger rather than necessarily just his team. And again, now that his ultimate's come up, he's using it to take away the dragon, which will be pretty free because he's got his Jhin to help him anyway. So I'm just going to fast forward here. Did I mention his runes and masteries? They'll always be in the description, by the way, guys, but it's a really weird setup that this guy runs, specifically for his runes. His masteries are fine. 12-18-0 with Thunderlords. That's fine. His runes, though, he goes 980 reds, 980 reds, 8 health per level yellows, 1 armor yellow. Don't ask me why he's got yeah, that 1 extra armor yellow is obviously very important. 5 armor blues and 4 MR blues, 1 attack speed quint and 2 move speed quints. It seems ridiculous. It seems ridiculous, and yeah, but what can you say? It works. So I guess what's he doing here? Is he just trying to hold this lane, just trying to stop FAKER from like pushing it down? Because he knows his Tilly can't hold it too well, so I guess that's what he's doing. And now that he's got the Tiamat here, he takes chickens very fast, and the mini chickens give you a lot. There's a high bounty on the mini chickens. I got such an itchy nose. High bounty on the mini chickens because of the new patch, where they now give you more experience. So now he's taking the Krogs away again, farming with the Tiamat. He's going to go and buy. So his first item will probably be the War Enchant. I'm assuming he's going to, or maybe Moby Boots here. I'm not sure. He hasn't bought anything yet. What's it going to be? It finishes the War Enchant and now goes towards Ninja Tabbing. Now this is what surprises me this game, is he hasn't got Moby Boots at all, which really surprises me. Because Moby Boots is like the king of like aggression, and Korean solo queue, Korean junglers especially, are all about aggression. So it's really surprising for me. I just need to pause here because I'm getting confused about what's going on. It's really surprising for me that he hasn't put focus on that aggressive build. But again, he finished his buy. He ran from spawn immediately back into the lane and just starts fighting again. Like, this guy just does not stop fighting, really. Like, he's always looking at the minimap, trying to set up plays, trying to make these plays. And I think it's a really good thing to highlight here, is if we could see what he was looking at, you would see him looking at the minimap all the time. If you watch my full gameplays, if you watch my stream on my second channel, you know that I'm trying to put a lot more focus, a lot more emphasis on just always being aware of what's happening in the minimap. What's happening on the lane, sorry, specifically. Nice use of his ult here to take away the tower as well. That's quite smart. But like, I guarantee you this guy is paying a lot of attention to what's going on in the lane. So I'm just going to pause here real quick because we've seen a TP come in from behind as well. Now, that's a really cool, look at that. That's very bright. Holy moly. This obviously isn't a picture of Fire's brain because that is not very bright. But this, gosh. Just going to pause here because he's just like, I shouldn't really pause here. There's nothing to analyze. There was a TP coming in from behind, 2 people swinging around here. So he hugged the wall. He hugged the wall because he knew that would be his escape route. He'll just deceive over the wall. That's his only way of getting out of there, right? Where else is he going to run? He needs to jump over the wall to escape. Jhin dies, but they get a tower. It's worth it. Good shit. Now he's out of there. I would imagine he's probably going for the Ninja Tabby. That's probably why he's got cloth armor. I'm going to guess he's rushing the Ninja Tabby here. What are you doing, bro? Ninja Tabby. There it is. And I guess this is going to be the Ravenous Hydra coming up next as well. Now, a lot of different, and I think pretty much every high-elo Korean Shaco that I've looked at so far, and just every Shaco in general, Shaco mains tend to be innovators as far as their builds go, because Shaco can work with a lot of different builds. So every Shaco player tends to have different builds. Some rush like static Shiv, like Tiamat static Shiv, some rush Moby Boots, some do like Cinderhawk, some do really crazy stuff. This guy just seems to be going for a more standard build here of Tiamat, Warrior Enchant, Tier 2 boots, Ravenous Hydra. I don't know if he's going Ravenous Hydra or not, but this tends to be a core build on most Shaco players, is Tiamat and Warrior Enchant with Red Smite. So take from that what you will, at least. Even if Shaco players disagree with what they're doing, the Tiamat, at least the Tiamat by itself, tends to be pretty core. This was quite interesting what he just did here as well, though, was like just running down, like instead of running and looking for a kill, he just runs down and just goes for the tower. Like he leaves spawn and just runs through a tower. You can see all of his buffs are up. Oh, sorry, all of his jungle camps are still up. Like this guy didn't just go and kill any of his jungle camps. He just ran away. Like he just ran and went for the team play there, which is really interesting to see. And here again, trying to start the aggression by just face checking a and seeing if he can make something happen. I mean, it's solo queue. People aren't going to be making like the most intelligent of plays all the bloody time. But this guy's still focusing heavily on the aggression. And now that things have calmed, like this is something which I really like heavily want to emphasize here. Really want to emphasize, because this is something you guys can be taking into your games as well. Is that I just mentioned that he came out of spawn and just ran straight into the action. He ran straight down mid where there was a fight happening, went to go and take the tower. So straight out of spawn, initially he's thinking, okay, what can I do here? Priority very much on what kind of aggressive play can I make? And now he made the aggressive play. He grouped up with his team. He got the tower. He went top, tried to make another play there. But now he's still thinking, what kind of plays can I make? Whenever you're making a decision, you're thinking, what can I do here? Obviously, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And then you've got a priority checklist to go through. Definitely gone through previously. And like if you see that your priority on a checklist is something you can do, in this guy's case, aggressive play, aggression, he does it. If he doesn't, and now because he's seeing here that priority play isn't really on the cards anymore, he's going down his checklist and he's doing the things that are lower on his priority list, right? So specifically here, his priority is aggression, below that, farming the jungle. And so right now, he's not going for the aggressive play because he can't make it. Look at the position of his teammates here. Echo's in spawn. Blitzcrank and Jhin are both probably recalling, or Jin's probably going to hold this lane or something, but Blitzcrank is recalling. There's no one on the map here from his team that he can make an aggressive play with. He can try and do something by himself, but look at his health and mana. He can't really do anything by himself. So instead, he's going to farm the jungle here. So it's like thinking about the decision process in this guy's head. It's like he thinks, okay, I want to be aggressive. Can I go aggressive? If yes, straight out the gate, running down mid, going for the aggressive play. If not, all right, let's farm the jungle. You know, it's like, it's really fascinating because at least I do this. I find myself doing this a lot, where I'll run out of spawn and I'll just go into my jungle and start clearing it. And that will just be like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's the closest thing to do. Just top yourself up a little bit and golden experience. This guy just like, no, his initial reaction is just bombing it into the play and making it happen. He doesn't even wait for mana here. He's just like, I don't know what he's going to do actually. Like, we'll see where he runs, but I guarantee you, he's probably running towards either this dragon or maybe, you know what, I'm not going to guarantee anything because I can't read these players' minds, but maybe pick up the blue and go somewhere, I'm not sure. He's going towards it looks like he's not actually finishing Ravenous Hydra, he's finishing the Black Cleaver here. But again, look at this guy. Runs straight out of spawn, straight into the aggressive play here. Takes the Scuttle Crab, which preps the dragon as well. And now, even now he's looking to see if he can kill someone before he goes to the dragon here. Oh, Faker, mate, are you out of position? Are you going to get killed by a random solo queue player, Faker? Is that what's going to happen? Wow, that was really cool. Holy shit, I didn't know you could do that, actually. This guy dodged Victor's stun with his ulti. I did not know that happened. So if you don't know what Victor's stun does, it's like that little bubble on the floor that you saw there. And then after a few seconds, you'll stand in it and be slowed. And after a few seconds, you'll get stunned. It's like you get really, really cold and you slow down, and then eventually you get so cold you just can't move anymore. And then you thaw out and you become unstunned. That guy was slowed, and at the point where he was about to get stunned, he popped his ulti, and during the part where he was disappeared because of the ulti, that was when the stun should have gone through, and it cancels it. Now, I don't know whether or not the stun kind of goes through, but he dodges it because he's gone in his ult, like he's disappeared because of his ult, or whether, like, because he disappears through his ult, that it kind of resets the Victor stun counter, so to speak. So whether, you know, like, oh, he disappeared, so now when he reappears, it starts from the beginning and it works its way up, but because there's not enough time for the stun to go through, it doesn't stun him. I don't know how that interaction goes exactly, but that was really smart, because if he gets, trust me, I played Shaco versus Victor, trust me, if you get stunned by Victor, he blows you up. Any point in the game, Victor turns on you, he kills you, pretty much. If he wants to, you're dead. So, yeah, I'm actually really happy I saw that, because I've learned that now. That's really useful. And again, more team plays happening. He takes blue buff for Talia, helps Talia secure blue buff, goes for the walls, like just takes some of his jungle, and then goes for the objective play again. Really smart. This guy's actually taken a lot of Scuttle Crabs as well, which is something to note. I think this is like maybe the 4th or 5th Scuttle Crab he's taken. So yeah, I mean, I always say Scuttle Crabs are like the cannon minions of the jungle. They're just free gold. They're worth like a lot, like 70, 80 gold. And you should take them. And they give you this little bit of vision as well. So it's actually quite important to take Scuttle Crabs. Side note as well, guys. The later you take Rift Held, the longer into the game the buff lasts. So generally speaking, I believe it's regarded to be better the later you take it. So he's taken this pretty much as late as possible because Baron has just respawned. So it like Rift Herald would have despawned now. And so he's got this for like another 10 minutes. So this Rift Herald buff now is going to last until like 30 minutes. So that's pretty good to have. So look at his item builds here. He's probably going to try and finish. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yeah, of course. That's what I was expecting to see. He's brought out the revolver. He's done it. Thought he was going to go Ravenous Hydra from Tiamat. Nope. Builds a Phage. Think he's going to go Black Cleaver. Nah. Revolver. Okay, he's gone Revolver. I actually think Revolver is a really good item on Shaco. AP Shaco is pretty strong right now as well, and so the AP is obviously quite useful. But the active is really good. It basically means when you jump in, you do an extra 100 damage, which I think is pretty cool. It's essentially just like a Sheen effect, I guess. But that's really interesting. It also makes your E do more damage too, so really interesting. You saw that big burst there. That's really surprising. Uses his ultimate here to dodge the drop the tower aggro too. Pretty good stuff. And then also has the ultimate to sweep through here onto the tower. Now I'm pretty sure if this is the guy that I'm thinking of, this guy actually goes Revolver really frequently because I've seen that. I saw that on someone's match history. I think it's this guy. At least. Wait, let me just double check. Yeah, it is this guy. This guy goes Revolver a lot. He usually gets this by, like, I'm looking at other item builds that he's gone for. He goes War Enchant and Tiamat every game, but then after that he'll usually get like Revolver, or maybe a little bit else before he gets Revolver. What the bloody hell, man! Really, I was not expecting to see that. Now this guy is 2-1 and 10. Doesn't really look like he's carrying the game too much, but that's fine. 2-1 and 10, 12 kill participation out of 14. That's fine. I'm not going to work that out as percentage because I can't be asked. You can't make me. Do it yourself. Go on, do it yourself. I can't be asked to do that shit. Too much effort, man. Too lazy. Fuck that shit. Basically, it's a lot. It's a high percentage here. He's doing pretty well as far as KP goes. And it's good shit. Oh, nice. Should be able to get out of that. If this guy had his ult, well, he does have his ultimate up. If this guy was in a team fight and he was worried about that Nautilus ult being able to kill him there, he would be able to use his ultimate to dodge the knock-up from the depth charge. Faker's going in, he's popped the ghost, he realizes he's in a bit of trouble here, he flashes away, he's still trying to, look at the moves, Faker, he's still, oh, the last second, no, okay, this happens within the last 30 seconds of a game. I've tested this before, this happens in the last 30 seconds of the game, so I'm going to say now, let me just double check here, guys, because we're going to miss the last bits of the game here. Whoops, I just accidentally pressed the wrong button. Let me just double check here. So this is what happens in the last 30 seconds of a game. Okay, yes. How many minutes are we into this game? Yes, okay, good. Whew. Okay, so thank God for that. My heart, like, this, spectator sucks. Anyway, so this always happens when the game's about to end. Sometimes, most of the times it happens, in my experience at least. So what I can tell you here is that the enemy team has now done a surrender vote. That seems a little bit extreme. So maybe it's like I'm looking at my thingy. Maybe there's like a little bit of a, like maybe these guys get Baron or something, then the enemy team surrenders. But this game is over, basically. In Korea, they do this a lot. The games are quite short because people just either open mid or they surrender really easily. I'm looking at this guy's match history here. There's a game here that lasted 10 minutes. He's 2-0-3, he wins, and it's 10 minutes long. Because you just, if you lose the early game, you just open mid in Korea. So I think that's what's happened here as well. The enemy team's just decided to surrender. So, okay, I'm sorry this kind of blue balls you a little bit, guys, but I'm really sorry. There's not really much I can do about this. I wish I could. I wish I could do more about this because it sucks that it feels a bit unsatisfying. But fortunately, it happens towards the end when the game's already over. I hope this ending didn't leave a sour taste in your mouth, and you could still learn some things from this. Because to be honest, loads of things like personally, at least, I've learned a lot of things from just watching this guy play, and the last 30 seconds, whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please do give me that thumbs up. And if you want to leave me something in the comments and tell me more about you know, what you want to see from this kind of series, how you think this series is going so far, because it's a very new series. I've only done 2 videos so far from this, at least like this kind of format. I used to do spectator games all the time back in the day, so I'm enjoying this. I actually feel like I'm learning a lot from this as well, which is really cool. Watching these guys, I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's, for me personally, just watching this, I really learned a lot about like priorities, like using your time. This guy really is just always on the ball, looking at what he can do, and he's always prioritizing. Okay, I'm going to do something aggressive here. If not, I'll farm the jungle. Although it did seem towards the beginning of the game, he farmed up a fair amount. He put more focus on farming, which is a bit surprising for me, a little bit surprising, but not. But it's smart, and it's good to see. I always feel bad in the early game if I'm not permanently ganking. It's good to see someone like this guy decide to still be able to use his time efficiently, even if he's not just ganking. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like I said, you guys are awesome. Have a wonderful, amazing, awesome day. Have a good morning, night, noon, evening, whatever it is where you are from. Peace out, guys. You are awesome, and I will see you in my next video.